Okay, so the first episode had something similar to Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. And the episode after had Bigfoot, and looking back on it, it wasn't that great. How do you top it? Well, you get this. This is Mega Man NG, and I welcome you to another TMNT 2012 Season 3 episode review. These episode reviews are still going, we only have about a few more to go. Today we're going to be talking about episode 3 of Season 3, Buried Secrets. And boy, after watching this, you cannot but feel bad for everyone, trust me. Here's the deal, I'll provide a summary as well as some of the main points. Let's get started. It's another day at the farmhouse and the turtles, April and Casey, are doing some cleaning up. But then they soon find a door leading to the basement. What they discover turns to be a shocker. They find a Kraang ship and a woman inside. And this woman is one that April knows too well. Her mom. Everyone is curious, but Mikey has some suspicions. But they get proven true when they learn that it's a Kraang creature that's infused with Mrs. O'Neill's DNA. Now the turtles have their work cut out for them. Can they stop this mom thing? Can April be able to stop someone who she considers family? Yeah, Season 3, it starts things off with a lot of nods to horror films, and this is no exception here. Whereas the first episode had Friday the 13th, the second one wasn't really it, but it was had a similar premise to Harry and the Hendersons. This one, its premiere shares similarities to John Carpenter's The Thing. And I don't know if it's about the original or the remake, but my god, The Thing. Yeah, it's a piece of horror history that you should watch. And seeing it used in the premise here, I have to wonder if the guys behind the show are horror fans. They have to be, because it's no wonder. This is also the second episode in the entire series where it pays nods to many of John Carpenter's films. The first one, A Chinatown Ghost Story, was a nod to Big Trouble in Little China. This one is The Thing. This episode also marks the debut of April's mom, Mrs. O'Neill, voiced by Renee Jacobs. What interests me most is that she also voiced the 1987 version of April. So having the 87 April and the 2012 April together makes it all the more that satisfying. I mean, she starts out innocent enough, but when her true colors are exposed, oh my god, how it's done is just scary and freaky. It just is. I mean, seeing her turn from something as sweet and innocent to a monstrous mom thing, terrifying. This episode is special because it really delves deep into April's family and how they're involved with the Kraang. We get a backstory of how the Kraang shuttle was found and how the Kraang were released in the first place. Yeah, April's great-great-grandfather discovered a Kraang scout ship, activated it only for the Kraang to escape, capture him, and then they experimented on him. And in turn, the Kraang DNA would end up being hereditary, passed down through the generations, eventually leading up to April, which could explain why April was the key to the Kraang's ultimate plan. But it also brings up another point. It also brought up the fact how they were able to escape and how April was in this predicament that she is now. Her mother ended up getting kidnapped by the Kraang and experimented on. Not to mention, April's powers were in full force when she had to save the day from the mom thing. Sadly, however, even though they did do that, April takes this very hard because it feels like she has lost her family. She already lost her dad before in Season 2, only to be returned back to normal and then lost again. It's just absolutely depressing when you think about it. It just is. This episode goes into the territory of some really scary stuff, and I mean really, really scary. The writers have a lot of balls. They got a lot of guts making an episode as scary as freaking as this. Normally, no show can't pull off such things. But with TMNT, they know how to balance it off with a bit of humor and all that jazz. The mom thing also is a perfect example of a serious threat. It's similar to The Thing. She beats the turtles without much of a sweat and ends up assimilating them. What makes it more depressing is seeing April's mom turn to something as horrid as that. I mean, the reaction she got when she saw it happen was just scary. It really is. And it makes it even more scary when it was all over, April fell down in the dumps because it felt like she lost her family. This episode really packs on the feels, I swear. There are like tons of references to horror movies throughout the entire episode. I could list them all, but there are way too many to count. But there is one thing I will mention. The evil clown that was shown in A Little Something with Mikey is one example. It's a nod to the film It with that evil clown. Surprisingly and ironically, Seth Green was in the original It film. Yeah, the It film would mark Seth Green's first premiere in film and TV. He played as a young Richie Tozier, and to think that it would come full circle with Seth Green voicing Leonardo in the TMNT. Yeah, I kinda like that, and for anyone who are fans of the actor's work, this is pretty nice. There are favorite moments aplenty, and it's better to watch the episode for yourself because if I were to explain it all, I wouldn't do it justice. Watch the episode for yourself, and trust me, you're gonna like it. It is also the very definition of scary. Word of advice, make sure you watch it during the day because at night it would literally spook you up a bit. The ending, however, considering that the mom thing was like leaving mutagen, also was setting things up for the next part. So pretty much we're going to be seeing a bit of connections throughout the first part of the season. I am really excited for what the rest of this season will bring. My rating for it in the description below, and yes, this episode is way better than last week's one. And believe me, it hit me in the feels big time. That is going to be it for this episode review. Tonight you're going to be seeing me review episode 4, so look forward to that. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you want to keep in touch on whatever stuff I do, be sure to click on that bell. And if you're not subscribed, sub anyway. Click on the bell, make sure it's set to all notifications, include creator posts, and click save. Sometimes the sub button doesn't work, but it's better you get notifications so that way you know when I'll upload next. YouTube really does suck nowadays. Oh well. This is Mega Man NJ signing off. Peace out. Boo yakasha.